shooters in the war, he was no stranger to action. But he knew that at that point, had he jumped in, it would have been disastrous. They had knives, machetes, we were hungry, we were thirsty. We spent a whole night bailing water out of our boat. Now, up until today, I don't know why, but for some reason, that pirate didn't throw the boy overboard. And instead, he flung the child back on deck, and the boy's life was spared. Ladies and gentlemen, that little boy was me. 2 days later, on our 5th day, we saw another boat come towards us from a distance. But this time, it was a huge German oil freighter. This time it stopped, it picked us up, it gave us food, it gave us water, and it saved us. We were saved by a big German boat. It took us to Malaysia and brought us to a refugee camp. And there we stayed for our next few months, awaiting news of our eventual resettlement. Well, finally one day, Dad gets the call in. We were overjoyed. We were so happy. We'd just been told we've been accepted as refugees to go to Austria. That was great. So we had no idea where on earth Austria was. The next day, however, Dad gets another call in, and he was told our application to go to Australia was also successful. So now Dad suddenly has a choice, Austria or Australia. Which box was he going to tick? Were these really two different countries, or did someone just get the spelling wrong? Dad heard a lot about Australia from back home in Vietnam, so he said, if possible, we'd like to go to the country with the kangaroos. But you see, luckily, at the time, the film Terminator hadn't yet been released at the cinemas, because later on, my dad became a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and surely would have ticked Austria. And so it was that our family eventually arrived in Australia, the land of hope and opportunity. Well, our dreams would come true. Where success, we thought, would be just around the corner. When we first got here, it was cold and we had nothing. One night, a nun came and she gave us a bag of clothes and a heater. Now, that was great, except that over half the clothes she gave us were for girls. And it was only my brother and I. So for over 6 months, Mum would dress me up in girls' clothes rather than throw any of it out. And I wonder why all the other kids wouldn't play with me. Mum and Dad found work sewing in a factory for $5 an hour. And I still remember going to primary school in kindergarten as the only kid with shoes that were sticky taped together. And it was sticky taped because the shoes had been handed down to me from my brother Arne, who in turn had been given the shoes from St. Vincent de Paul's. Life for the next 10 years, however, brought many, many more challenges. I still remember coming